Just getting in from work. It's Tuesday evening. I'm going to try to keep this show real short this week because I actually have a list of everything I need to accomplish this week because Friday, I've been waiting for this for a couple of years. You know, I'm missing the hell out of Beatrice. She came with me the last time. I drove down to see the Zee Guy to do some black fishing. So now I can go away for the weekend. Still missing the hell out of that dog. But I'm leaving on Friday. I'll leave for work early, do a little swimming at the Y, and then gonna jump in the car at 3:30 and right on down to Connecticut. So I should make it by happy hour. And I told the Zee Guy, who, by the way, the very first episode, 001, of Come On In My Kitchen, the precursor to this show, was dedicated to the Zee Guy. You can go back and watch that if you want. But I told him, even if we don't get fish, I'll get content. Because I'm planning on doing a little shooting with him there. I should get there for happy hour. He said he might mix up a cocktail, so maybe we'll get him on for a TGIFF. You never know. And if we do catch fish, we'll definitely cook something up. And that's the point of tonight's show. So come on over to the board, and I'll show you what we're doing. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. All right, I like to give these out as Christmas gifts, my Italian blend, and this was from a few years ago, the Creole seasoning blend, made with love in Lamontville. But this one's old, it's been sitting in the pantry way too long, so that's going directly in the compost, all right? It's hard, it's crunchy. I'll take the label off this and recycle the bottle. But tonight, we've got 2 new bottles, one for me, one for the Zee Guy, cleaned up. So let's get started on our blend. Now, there's dozens of different varieties. You can find them online. You can look for them in Cajun cookbooks, whatnot. Let me show you what I'm using in mine tonight. I've got some smoked paprika. We're going to use some cayenne pepper, sea salt. I've got onion powder, garlic powder. These are all organic from Mother Earth's. I took a nice little stroll through Mother Earth's yesterday. Great store. Some dried thyme and dried basil. I love it in there. Here, take a look. Here's where I got these herbs from. Okay, now the amounts are, sort of up to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the smoked paprika. And I'll go with a couple tablespoons of that. Let's see, 3. So I think the whole thing is about 4 tablespoons. Give or take, Now the cayenne pepper, I'm going to use half the amount. I do like my seasoning spicy. So I'll go with 2 level tablespoons of the cayenne. And I'm going to use about the same amount of my onion powder. Get that in camera. I'm so horrible at this stuff. 2 tablespoons. Okay, now I'm going to drop down to the teaspoon measure, and let's go with the garlic powder. Teaspoon, couple of those. I'm going to go a little extra garlic powder because I like that garlicky flavor. Sea salt. I don't want to over salt it, so I'm going to go with 2 shallow teaspoons. And you know, we're gonna mix this up and taste it at the end. I don't want it too salty, although, you know, salt does enhance all the other flavors. Let's go with a teaspoon each of our, oh, this is oregano, not thyme. And there's a couple of things I didn't buy. I'll show you why in a second. So let's go with a teaspoon of oregano. Again, I'm going to be generous with that. A teaspoon of thyme. And then let me head over to the shelf over here. I did not buy the dried basil because I have tons of basil from last summer that I dry myself here, and I actually smelled theirs, and it does not compare to this. Okay, I dry it nice and slow in the kitchen. Of course, I should probably use a mortar and pestle, but that's okay. Yeah, see, theirs was no comparison to this. I'll go with about a teaspoon of the basil. And the other thing I didn't buy was black pepper, freshly ground. And that I'm just going to do by feel and by eye. I have plenty of peppercorns if I need them. Okay, that's basically the blend. Let's get a spoon and mix her up. And we'll give it a little quality control check, tweak it, and fill our jars. Basil could be, like I said, it probably could have used a mortar, but that's okay. It's powdering up. Here we go. I don't want the stems in there though. Looking good. Okay, quality control. Oh yeah, it's nice and fresh. Wow. I think I nailed it. I really think I nailed it. Maybe just a touch more time. Another pinch of oregano because I love oregano. Doesn't need salt. It's plenty oniony and plenty garlicky, and that cayenne is giving it a kick. I'd add more smoked paprika, but that was the main event, and I killed the bag. Yeah. Oh, man. Let's fill these jars. One for me, one for Zee. This stuff is priceless. So, if you've never had blackfish before in your life, I was not privy to it. I'd never had it before I went down a few years ago. It's an amazing fish that you pull up out of the jetty, but the window of opportunity is very narrow because they only bite when the temperature is between a certain low and a certain high, which I can't tell you. I believe it's in the 50s, but I'm not sure. But anyway, Zee Guy made a ceviche with this fish, and I about fell off my chair. So what I thought, as soon as I tasted it, it's the perfect fish for blackening. So that's why I want to bring this seasoning down. Right, that's a half a jar for me. I want to give this guy a full jar. I can always make another batch. So there we go. Homemade blackening spice. All right. Here's our little gift to drive down with. I've got labels for the top. Maybe I'll put them on, maybe I won't. And then I've got a little here for the pantry here. Like I said, I could always mix up a batch. However, that being the case, we got to put it to the quality control test. Come on over by the marble. Let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Freshly made Creole blackening blend. I want to give it a whiff. It's so fresh and so amazing, but I had to turn the camera off before it got me sneezing. But this is so good. I can't wait to bring it down, and hopefully we nail those blackfish. Amazing. So what I'm going to do, though, we're going to make these blackened shrimp. I have 5. I feel like a broken record with the shrimp. It seems like every other week, but I can't help it, man. I keep them in my freezer. It's one of my favorite go-to proteins. So I got 5 shrimp. You could easily do these over rice, but I'm going with a little good old ranzoni spaghetti. I got a pot of water on here, nicely salted. So I'm just going to drop those in. And I'll keep an eye on those because the shrimp are only going to take a second. I'm getting this cast iron screaming hot. Let me get in position here. I got this thing blasting, and this really should be done outside, but it's too chilly out. I thought about firing up the fire again. So I'm going to do this over spaghetti with a little, I got some butter here. Now let's steal some of the butter for our shrimp. Just take a couple of teaspoons of butter before we put our other ingredients in the sauce. Butter up the shrimp a little. By the way, these were washed, cleaned, washed, and dried. It's key that you dry them up. We don't want too much water because they're going in a screaming hot cast iron pan. Okay, so to our butter, I took a lemon, I zested it up and juiced it. Good old lemony pasta. The butter is just warm. It's not hot. This is not brown butter like we did with the skate. Butter, lemon zest, lemon juice, okay? And let's let that, now I can raise it just a touch. And listen, it's only Tuesday night, but once I saw what I was cooking, I'm not going to go overboard. I got a lot to do before Friday, but a glass of rosé just seemed essential. So, let me give the pasta a little stir. I'm going to keep an eye on that. And now I'm going to bring the heat up a little on our sauce. Butter and lemon, how could you go wrong? That's amazing. I'm just going with a pinch, grains of salt, because the pasta water is pretty salty, and that pasta is going to go straight in, okay? So, while that's happening, let's take our shrimp, come back a little. The sauce will just simmer a little. I brought it up. You do not want to brown that butter. So now, the shrimp are nicely coated with butter. Let's take our blackening blend. Give them a nice sprinkle. Just toss them around. We'll do one side. Let's get down in there. There we go. Let's see what's going on. This is a rough and rowdy show, folks. I'm going to be moving the camera around. Like I said, I really want to try and keep this one brief. I have so much to do before Friday, and I'm so psyched for this trip. Okay, now I'm just going to use my fingers a little. Flip these guys. Get the other side coated. Okay, that's a little high now on the butter. I do not want that burning. Let's do the other side, Cajun style. Okay, pat those down. Now, let me give the sauce a little taste. Just butter, lemon zest, and lemon juice at this point, and it's absolutely spectacular. So what I'm going to add to that now, while our pasta's going, me back down. This is one of the cheesiest episodes ever. There's a little bit of cream, or in this case, half and half. And basically, that's our pasta sauce right there. I suppose I could go with a little black pepper, but I don't even want to spoil the color of it. So, let me check on the spaghetti over here. That's coming along good. Let's blacken this shrimp. You can always keep it aside and keep it warm. That pan is screaming. And what I have here is I have my lid, because I need to get a vent hood in this kitchen. And I have my splatter screen. So let me get them in. Look at that smoke. This should be done outside, folks. But I'm not complaining, because I'm the only one who lives here. And I give myself permission. Now, these are only going to take a minute or so on each side, maybe 2 minutes. Sauce has the cream now. Oh yeah, I'm going to steal a few parsley leaves from the windowsill over here to the end. Get one more to garnish. All right, let's flip our shrimp. Let me check the spaghetti first. I want this al dente. And it's almost there. So let's flip these shrimp over. That's what I call blackened. You wouldn't believe the smell in here right now. This Cajun blend could not be fresher. I just mixed it. No time lapse in this episode. Alright, that cast iron is so hot, I think I can turn the heat off now, and those shrimp will finish. Let me give the pasta another check. A minute 20 on the pasta. So let me get my bowl over here, ready to go. Got my parsley, we're all set and ready to plate it up. Alright, I'm going to take the shrimp off the heat because I don't want to overcook them. My little bowl here, I wiped it out. I had my cream in. Let's get those in there. The pasta is at about the 30-second mark. According to my calculations, take another check here. Ranzoni sono buoni, al dente, to the tooth. Let me just reposition here. I want to get in a little bit closer. Rough and rowdy show here. I don't know, I'll be doing some editing, but you're probably going to see most of these camera movements. Alright, there we go. That's our sauce. Now, a lot of times you could drizzle in pasta water, but I'm going right from the pot of salted water directly in, so there's plenty of water on the spaghetti already. And now that I'm doing that, I can pump the heat up just a hair, because we want to finish the pasta in there. I kept it a little al dente, a little underdone. water will help to emulsify this sauce. It's lemony, it's buttery, it's creamy. I'm shooting on the phone these days, you guys, so if you hear those dings, live with them. I edit them out when I can, but sometimes they come at crucial moments in the cooking process. So, let's just toss. We're finishing the spaghetti in the sauce. Look, the water is emulsifying it. Oh yeah. Now let me quality control this before I plate it. Oh hell yeah. Lemon, butter, and cream, come on. The al dente is now as perfect as it's ever gonna be. So let's plate this up and get those shrimp alongside it. Got my bowl ready. Got my fork ready. Let's bring this on over. I need more spaghetti than that. What are you kidding me? Okay. Now, blackened gambetti. Five shrimp. Nice little protein hit. Oh yeah. I need to invest in some lights, you know? I haven't been happy with the color of these shows, but everything in good time. It's like the property. I try to improve one little thing at a time. I just upgraded the phone ever since the beep smashed the camera. I don't mind. Let's get the rest of our Cajun butter on here. Let's go with, ooh, you know what I was gonna do? I like crushed red pepper on this, but why do that when we have the freshly made blend? Let's just use a touch of that for color, right? Let's go with a little garnish, some parsley, and we can break a few leaves on it too. And, you know, if you were serving this, I'm not gonna do it because it's just me here. You could wedge up a little bit of this lemon and garnish with that. All right. Not the best lighting in the world. Maybe I can touch it up in Premiere. But let's dig in and see what we got here. Lemon pasta with blackened shrimp. There we go. Simplest pasta in the world. No garlic. I mean, you know I love aglio. Blackened shrimp. Oh yeah. Freshly made. This is absolutely insane. What a combo. I was just gonna steam some rice, you know? Well, then I thought about this pasta. Sitting there at work on lunch, eating my salad, thinking about shooting this episode tonight. Look, wait a minute, I got some Ronzoni spaghetti in there. I got one lemon on the table. Duh. But it's all about the blackened shrimp. Because Friday I'm heading to the Zee Guys. Hopefully we're nailing that blackfish. And who knows? Next week is going to be the, next week's episode is going to be the Connecticut trip. I can't promise you we're going to be cooking fish. If we are, maybe we'll blacken some blackfish. But one way or the other, I don't know. We get that good Connecticut pizza. I get the Zee Guy in on some content. We'll see you for the next episode.
Come on, let's do it.
Rosé on a Tuesday.